Okay, you all. Hello, 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 hello. Um, I'm looking at something on my phone from Stargate that has the cosmos. There's a crypto that has the cosmo um, symbol, like on it, the circle with the slash Stargate. That is associated with cosmos, and also you got the new Grok AI with Elon Musk, who changed his symbol. Now it reflects the cosmos symbol. So now you can really understand why we see that cosmos symbol, that circle slash on the Phoenix of the 1988 magazine, right? Phoenix by the Rothschilds that says to get ready for a new world order. But I want to talk about XRP, right? I just had that on my phone and I saw it, so I just want to elaborate on it. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Let me know what part of the world you are tuning in from. I am late for my workout today. So I really want to make this live stream very as quick as I can so I can go in the gym before it turns darker and get my workout on, right? Had a lot of other business things to take care of today. So I'm listening and I'm going to give this YouTuber credit to this other YouTuber that's breaking down the mystery of the 589 of XRP. And he did not go into his crypto name is Maximus Crypto. Thank you for that thumbs up on Facebook, YouTube. You all follow suit and do the same. His name is Maximus Crypto, and he has like a 44-minute video. You know, you all are welcome to go check it out about the 589. Let me see if I can find it. The Photoshop of the 589 that many Photoshop. You never saw this episode, but it had Bart Simpson's writing XRP predicted to be 589, or did they? Or did they? And so this is what that looks like, right? Let me pull it a little closer. And this was Photoshop. This was never ever on the Simpsons episode. But you all been following me for any amount of time, you know that I follow the Simpsons because um, of the things that they have predicted programming that they said will happen in the future. It has happened. A lot of things have happened. So when it comes to crypto, why not? Like, why not follow them? So the Simpsons cartoon sitcom, accurate plans or prediction forecast from when Donald Trump was president to Nobel Prize winner or the Olympic results, all of that stuff. Lady Gaga performing, right? The Simpsons aired it and told us first this is what's going to happen. Now, XRP price prediction or the intro short of Bart Simpson by on check on the chart board. XRP to hit 589 by EOW end of year prediction. It was not an accurate episode from the Simpsons, right? This was not an accurate episode. In fact, with the Simpsons, the first time that we see cryptocurrency or crypto to first appear on the Simpsons, you all were back in 1977. That was before I was born. So that was more than a decade before Bitcoin was launched, the first ever cryptocurrency. And it shows Homer, Marge, outside a place called Title Crypto Born, right? You all follow that Crypto Born, which featured a code related signs outside. Now, where does this 589 come from? And I'm going to do another episode on season 31, episode 13 of Jim Parsons introducing or talking about or telling what cryptocurrency was and why they chose the actor Jim Parsons to do that. And you can find it on my YouTube channel, right? The Big Bang Theory. Jim Parsons, an episode about he and his friends that's going to start mining Bitcoin. And he's explaining to them what mining is. And they seem very nerdish and things like that. So this is the truth about where do we get the 589. It's not a price prediction. And again, I got some of this from another crypto um, channel, but The part that he did not do was the gematria part, and that's the part that I want to elaborate more on this live stream. He did break down the gematria part. Someone on Facebook says the 589 comex rule. I have not looked it up to even know what that means. Let me type it in real quick. 589 comex rule. Let's see. It's a provision with comments uh, within the comments. Give me a second. People always pull up to me when I'm live streaming. I don't like this because I'm focused on what I'm doing. So let me pull up. And, I'm in a parking lot, so they got that right. But it's a provision with comments that accounts for a situation where gold and silver trades cease to happen with no future trades in gold and silver occur. Trading is briefly halted at the spot price, adjusted upwards to entice trade. The process continues until trades are sufficient. But the important thing to understand is that the rule is meant to move spot price towards the natural price discovery. The end result of this rule, if triggered, is massively daily moves in spot price of gold and silver. So what this is saying, that the spot price of gold and silver provision comes trades where the trade cease to happen. Mm, I don't know. Um, 6 months every time comment slams paper gold. China does the Goodfellas routine. Um, okay, I guess that it could be argued that the 589 rule was being used for Bitcoin. And this was back in 24. This comment, if price discovery natural now, who knows? So the price discovery. Mm, okay, I guess that's another way to view it, look at it. Um, the Phoenix rising from gold in silver 2018. Let me look at this one. But 589, someone says, what now edition means great reset. So what do you mean? Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean 589 means great reset? How does the 589 mean great reset? Okay, so here's my thing. I connected it with, well, not me, but the YouTube that I was listening to with connected it with the branch Swift code for the National Bank of Egypt. Right, it is the Swift code for the National Bank of Egypt branch, which Ripple has already partnership for Cario, the Swift code, the Hbar, the Swift code for the National Branch of Egypt or codes from 8 to 11 characters long, include specific banks. Let me pull this up. Right, includes the bank address. The branch code is 589. The city is Cairo. The country is Egypt, and it is connected to the Bank of Egypt. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, right now, Egypt has moved up to it's the third largest gold reserve. Just Google 589 reset. Why don't you do it? Why don't you do it? Oh my. All right. You could have just typed it in the comments for me. Let me stay on Egypt real quick. December 16, 2025, 589 means the monetary reset. Okay. I'm looking it up now. The world's first and largest digital marketplace for crypto collectibles. This is OpenSea 589. Great Reset. What is the Great Reset? Um, I don't. PlayStation 4. I got some. Something to do with the Great Reset, Trump, and I really don't see anything on here. Let me go on X. It's supposed to be like a conspiracy theorist thing, and the comments rule.
Scheckman from Miles Franklin. Andy, how are you today? Good to be back, Brad. I'm well. Thank you.
Okay, now I will elaborate more on the COMEX move. The COMEX rule, it talks about what will replace the petrodollar agreement. A great reset circuit breaker. So the great reset and the 589 COMEX rule are intertwined, or they're two of the same things. So people keep saying that BRICS countries are not interested in the green agenda. BRICS nations are pushing the UN's agenda of 2030 sustainable development goals. It was on the BRICS website. Most of the discussion about climate change. Some people are saying that this is going to connect XRP to the gold standard through that. But as long as we all agree that it does not mean that the price of XRP, because some very novice investors think that that's what it is. So also what happened in Egypt, now back to the National Bank of Egypt, we got the gold foils and artifacts found in the 26th dynasty tombs in Egypt. So this happened in July 25th of 2024. A gold covered mummy found. One of the oldest mummies was found in the tombs to the step of a pyramid in Egypt. Archaeologists uncovered a trove of gold artifacts during excavation in the Metia, Egypt. I probably mispronounced it or butchered their name. And it says including numerous foil figures that depicted religious symbols and ancient Egypt idols. So we have July of 2024, large gold discovery in the National Bank of Egypt. We also have Egypt right now. That is the top three countries as far as that's related to Egypt as far as in the gold reserve. So we have Egypt right now, gold reserve reached an all-time high of 125.92 tons. Egypt is the third largest holder of gold strategic reserves of the world. So we have this Central Bank of Egypt and 589 as the banking code and the third largest gold reserve in the world. Now, I will look at it from the 589 comments rule and the Great Reset perspective later on when I do some more research, but I won't cover that on this video. Just Google it just now, and nothing is what Anthony said about the 589 comments rule. Price prediction for Flare token, or is it just a relevant project? No, it's not a price prediction at all. Now I'm going to break down the gematria of this because you all know I love my gematria, right? I love understanding what numbers translate into letters. So we can get on the flare, Lord. If I get on the flare token, I won't go in this gym and exercise. But flare is going to be very big. But let's look at it by the gematria calculator, right? Let's look at it by the numbers. So 589 results by Jewish gematria. Thank you for the 111. Thank you for that. Coming in with the 111 energy. Yeah, as soon as I start talking, I'm gonna start talking gematria. You drop the right numbers for me, right? So thank you for that. Let me adjust this phone. It means Donald Trump, right? The 589. Also brings up in gematria Donald Trump. We know Brad Garlinghouse tweeted today, or maybe you don't know now, you know, that this will be the very first pro-Congress, pro-crypto Congress, the 120th pro-crypto Congress upon the inauguration and President Trump going into office. It also means ISO, XRP, 589 in gematria. Donald Trump again. It means Thomas Anderson. I have to research Thomas Anderson to see who that is. Also, be aware of this, as somebody did say, the Great Reset. The Great Reset. Also, it means a storm is coming, you all. Just realize that whenever this Like, who is that part behind me now? Like, I don't like that energy. I gotta move. I just don't like when I'm live streaming people part behind me, beside me. But I'm in a parking lot, but I don't want people to think like, why is that lady talking to her in her phone for 20 minutes? I really don't care what they think, but I want that space. So a storm is coming. Just understand under 589, a storm is coming. So we have to get prepared. We can add 589 and it also equals 22, which is ISO 20022 as well. Right? A storm is coming. Also, this is interesting. December the 13th. December the 13th. I don't know, but that's 589. I don't know if it means December the 13th of this year or something may happen December 13th of 2024. I don't know. It also, 589 Gematria breaks down Ripple the Bull. Ripple the Bull. So we're seeing here that it's a little truth or where it may be a little lie because we know that picture was Photoshopped. It's also some truth in that. Another, I'm gonna bring it up before I discuss it though. Another picture that was photoshopped on The Simpsons is where Professor Frank is holding up the newspaper, right? He's holding up the newspaper, and it has a picture of Shiba Inu. That's not what happened in the original episode. What happened in that episode was Lisa asked Professor Frank about his background because she was going to interview him for a school assignment. And he said, well, I was a test tube, the first test tube baby. And it was actually a picture of him, but that picture was photoshopped to represent Shiba Inu. Again, where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's lies, it still is a little truth. Like, why did they replace it with a Shiba Inu picture at the same time? Why did they have Bart Simpson with the 589? Well, now we understand why, right? And to me, if you all want to reference anything to the Matrix, once you get an understanding, right, and all you're get an understanding according to the Bible, to me, that's breaking the Matrix. Like once you have knowledge, we know that knowledge within itself is not power, but applied knowledge is power. Once you get a revelation, you act upon it. To me, that's breaking out of the Matrix, right? So it also means 116, right? 589. 589 also is coming back to April 13th. So we will see if something big event is going to happen. I told you all also in the Simpsons episode when he's riding the ski jet and he has the ledger to April to pay for it. I told you all I'm expecting something connected to XRP April of this year. According to the Gematria, April the 13th is coming up as well. April 13th. Um, let's see. Donald Trump is connected to 589. Declaration of Independence, right? This is very interesting as well. Date of death is date of life. We can go back to the Phoenix. The date of death of fiat paper currency, the date of rising of the Phoenix of life of now digital currency and cryptocurrencies, right? Um, let's see. XNS Oracle. Now, when we talk about Flare, we know Flare is also recognized as an oracle as well. But the oracle, right, as we would talk about in the Matrix, the oracle is chain link, but Flare is also connected to not only the oracle and name as well, but also the Phoenix. Flare has interchanged with those names, the Phoenix and um, the oracle as well. All right, and then millions of dollars is connected to 589 in Gematria. Let's see, and I think that's all that's relevant. So I wanted to cover since all of these new happenings are in the National Bank of Egypt. There's also Egypt banking code, the third largest reserve in the world, and also the recent discovery of gold for in the mummy, the tombstone in Egypt of last year, and it's gold findings. So 589, the Swift banking system ranking, Ripple, I mean, it's all connected to that. Someone says by 2030, they say they're going to make it to where we own nothing and be happy. I think you're talking about the IMF. Now, this is the way I interpret that. You might have a different interpretation. It may be by 2030 that the cryptos that are available right now to retail investors, everyday people, they may not offer cryptos on exchanges for people. We know other countries have banned their citizens for even buying crypto. And that's why I tell people it is so important to understand a long-term investing strategy as well as a short-term, because something can happen where only accredited investors, right, are able to have access to the cryptos that a lot of us have access today. Accredited investors, you have to have $1 million in assets and or hold on for a minute. Uh, I'm trying to make sure I'm right when I say this, or I'm saying it the correct way. But but it may get to a point where only accredited, and that's one of the things that I told you I love about Arno as well. Not only that it's going to be real world assets, but also it's available to both accredited and non-accredited investors. So to be an accredited investors, you must have a net worth or assets of at least $1 million. That excludes like your primary resident, you know, and you have earned at least $200,000 in the last 2 years, or $300,000 combined with a spouse. And so a lot of these cryptos, they very well, where the IMF says you will own nothing and be happy. They literally got rid of the crypto exchange portion of the Coinstar, kiosks, and Kroger's. They are definitely limited assets. Exactly. Someone says that's why you buy gold and land. If you're listen, I'm not listen. In fact, let me put this up here. I'm not. I tell people. I got to stop saying the word tell. I recommend or I educate people that you'll have more upside if you did silver and copper, because silver is the most undervalued asset in the world, and copper, there's a global shortage on copper, right? For most everyday working people who earn five. Listen, I just saw when I was at the gym, where I should be now, on the news when I was at the gym Thursday, is that because I don't watch a lot of television when I'm at home, and so I see a lot of things on the news when I'm working out. That the average American yearly salary is, we got 111. It's 111 people in at this moment right now. If your hands are free, I want you to hashtag 111 or just drop the numbers 111 in. We do that every time we see that 111 energy. So it's 111. Put that in right now if you caught me on the live stream. So with that being said, you all, I saw that the average salary for Americans right now is 60,000 a year and approximately $1,400 a week. 60,000 a year and approximately $1,400 on a weekly basis. So when you're telling people or suggesting to people, right, to invest in gold, when you're talking about almost $3,000 an ounce. When you're suggesting to people to invest in land, if they don't have a plan to do with that land, it's just raw land, whether it's building some type of real estate, some housing, whether it's farming for your own food, you have to have not only the knowledge to farm, but you have to have the equipment to farm as well. You have to have farming equipment. You have to go out and purchase your John Deere or whatever you need to farm. So those are, it's to me, for the average person, expensive. It sounds good in theory. It sounds good in theory. I was just buy gold and land. And then if people buy this gold, right, and they don't even know where to go and sell their gold back to or how to store their gold, because you're going to need big grams of gold, right? You can buy ounces, but nobody even tell people why to buy gold. They don't even tell people that Article 1, Stance 10 of the U.S. Constitution declares that gold is real money. J.P. Morgan, the founder of J.P. Morgan and Chase, says gold is real money. Everything else is just credit, including cash. People have to know where to go sell that gold and convert it. Now, one thing you can say is that if this technology, our phones, you know, technology crash and go down, we know that AT&T has situations where people could not dial, they could not, other mobile phone servicers have, you know, you can't have access to anything on your phone. I always tell people go to millimoves.com right there and get your silver and get your copper, because they are the silver most undervalued asset in the world. It's very affordable, $40 an ounce. It's underpriced. It's been suppressed, just like XRP has been suppressed. The price of silver, that's why we had the silver squeeze, has been suppressed, just like XRP for 7 years. The number 7, divine transition. The number 7 means divine transition. For 7 years, XRP has been suppressed by the price. And June 20th, we are expecting the SEC case to be dropped. I'm expecting something to happen in April. I know March 10th is when ISO 20022, the Fed wire and all that is supposed to start going live. So, I don't even really talk 1,000, 10,000 XRP with people anyway, because once it gets to $10, which is where I'm looking at this year, maybe $8 to $10. A lot of people, because of what I just shared with you, average American earning $60K a year. The average 401k amount is, when people get ready to retire, their 401k has between $135,000 $145,000. This is what I've been talking about, getting out of the usury system. People working 40 hours for 40 years, and the 40-40 plan, and looking to retirement. Then when it's retirement counts, their money, they don't have enough money to live off of for retirement. Somebody says try $1,150 a month for Social Security. Correct. You work 40 hours a week, 40-40-40 plan for 40 years. And then, to only live off 40% of what you were making working. That's not going to work. So I don't suggest to people assets that they don't even have the money to afford. I'm suggesting people things that's going to give them the highest upside potential and a high return on their investment. Because I'm not talking to multimillionaires on my live stream. I'm not talking to people that already got it. I'm talking to people that's trying to get it. That's my audience, and I know that. So I don't come on here and say, hey, yeah, go get your gold, get your silver. $3,000 an ounce. How much silver do people? Most people don't have $1,000 saved. So they definitely can't buy ounces and ounces of silver at almost $3,000. I mean, gold at almost $3,000 an ounce. So that's my mindset. So I'm here for the employed millionaires, the poor working middle class, and the six-figure upper middle class, right? That's why I'm here. And so that's what the 589, in my opinion, is connected to Bank of England, XRP, Donald Trump. A storm is coming. We might see a World War III. Elon Musk says it's inevitable that we will. But we're going, that's where that come from. Now, somebody mentioned Flair on the Simpsons, and I think I really just need to do a separate live stream on that, because I can drag that out. But I'm going to, because we know we have Flair connected to HRP. I mean, Hbar. Why I get HRP? We got Flair connected to Hbar, XRP, and it's, I think, Bitcoin, right? As far as being able to stake it on the Flair network. Also, there was some news. Hbar is another crypto that's mentioned on the Simpsons. There was some news with Hbar that I wanted to share. Yeah. So Hbar has become is the first altcoin with ETF approval. Right. Big things, Hbar is undervalued, right? Is over. So Hbar has become the first altcoin for ETF approval. Now, we also know that Hbar is quantum resistant already, along with Algorand. Algorand, Bitcoin, Hbar already quantum resisted. And is one of the ones that's mentioned on The Simpsons. In fact, Homer leaves Marge a letter, says, "We'll be home late." He got a pigeon to bring it to her. He had the H for Homer. Hbar is also mentioned on Back to the Future as well. And after that, Homer is celebrating with the boys, shipping on champagne, living a life of luxury. Someone asked me, also 67 enterprises set to join Hbar governing council in 2025. It will be so huge. They'll send Hbar to the moon. Hbar to $15, according to this post, is the price prediction. You all, we talking about Hbar right now under $1. Still under $1. And it's good news about XLM as well, but I'm going to share that on a separate live stream because I don't want to draw that out. So I draw this live stream out. But I do know that, again, we got 589 connected to the Bank of Egypt. And I've told you all, no TA, no technical analysis can really just really let us know. We gotta, if XRP gets the ETF, right? When the SEC dropped this case, it is so many intricate things that could just send under that suppression of XRP that can just send XRP to the moon. Like, it just so many variables. But I'm going to show you all this. Someone asked me, where did I see the Back to the Future in Hbar? And you all, is all of this stuff is just a Google search away. But it was in this taxi cab. So does this look like LCX sign to you all too? I'm big on LCX. It's a real world asset. But we got the B right here. I know it's kind of hard to see the R. The H is in that first window. And so Hbar is not only mentioned in The Simpsons, but Back to the Future. Decent Wallet and Tangent Wallet is the best no hack. Tangent did just get hacked recently. Just, some other YouTubers did some information on that. Yeah, get the likes to 111. You all get those likes up. Maybe no more storms. Trump said, no, it's not going to be a smooth transition. Whenever we are changing our financial system, you all, it's not going to be a smooth transition. It's not. I know, and we would like to think that way. It's going to be some turbulence. We have other countries that are going to have their own CBDC. There's not going to be a new uh, reserve currency. And Trump has already said, whoever tried to dump the United States dollar, he's taking them to war. We are going to war. And these other countries have already said, we're going to do it, and we are doing it. And these other countries are going to have their own CBDCs. And whatever replaces SWIFT, there cannot be no entity that has a single entity that has total control of it. That's how SWIFT is set up right now, the current SWIFT system, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. It is a member-owned corporation. It is not owned by any single entity. It is member-owned, and that's how the XRP and the Ripple technology is going to have to be set up as well. We got a lot of Japan banks that have are accepting millions of dollars of Ripple Labs and that thing. But The member-owned cooperative right now, for example, with the SWIFT system, is like 3,500 member organizations. And this is headquartered in Belgium with SWIFT. So the system is overseen by the central banks of G10 countries. The XRP is going to have to do, because these countries want balance. They're going to even the playing field. And Trump has already said we're going to go to war. When that happens, no, I never mentioned that token. Never, ever. Oh, Air Force. Listen, Degen coin. Someone said Air Force already used it. That Degen coin is worth looking at. It had like 37% pump on today. Okay, I don't give people financial advice on here. Yeah, dollar will collapse. So actually, the British nation have already dumped. Some of them have already stopped exchanging their commodities for dollars. I played that video from Africa years, and that video was like 10 years old. She said, why should you get our gold and diamonds for your colored paper dollar? Like, we are the richest. We are the ones rich in commodities, not the United States. We have the largest gold reserve, and that's going back to the National Bank of Egypt. If you Google, it'll tell you the United States have the largest gold reserve in New York. That's not true. Even though the NYDS was the first to approve the RLUSD, United States don't have a larger gold reserve. Ronald Reagan said that back in, I think, the 70s or something, when he changed from Democrat to Republican. He said that the amount of debt that they owe other countries in comparison to our gold reserve, we're not the powerhouse because our debt has exceeded the amount of gold that we have. In other countries, their payment is gold. They don't want the United States dollar. That's why Nixon made it illegal for them to convert gold into the dollar in 1971, because the United States was about to go bankrupt again. It already happened during the Great Depression, because Spain was on its way in this warship and with a boatload of U.S. cash, and Nixon got word of it. And when I first heard this story, I tell you all this all the time, I asked, I said, why didn't they just come on a plane in their, war planes? And they said, well, they could not transport the gold back on the plane, in the warplane, so they had to come in ships. And by the time Nixon got hold of that, he changed that law mid-flight. He was like, well, not mid-flight, but mid-ship or whatever you are, mid-sail. And because we about to go broke again. That's why that's how the Federal Reserve banking system and central banking system was created by J.P. Morgan, and that ties into the Titanic. The wealthiest people on the Titanic would have never went for a central banking system, and Titanic just happened to crash into an iceberg, right? So, and then J.P. Morgan, who was supposed to be on the Titanic, but he just mysteriously couldn't go at the last minute, met in Georgia on Jekyll Island with 9 prominent bankers, and thus they created the central banking system. And that's where we get J.P. Morgan and Chase today. And so, you all, it's coming to an end, but like I say, this is going to get ugly. So I would have some money in precious metals versus just everything crypto. I would definitely, if I were a 5-figure income earner, even if I earned $250,000 a year, career wise, I would definitely convert some of my cash into silver. Again, silver has been suppressed and squeezed as well. $40 an ounce. I mean, you got the greatest upside potential and ROI, return on your investment, getting into silver versus gold, and it's affordable and it's suppressed. And when that price, we need silver for everything. We need silver for our RFID chips. We need silver for our 5G Wi-Fi, for our cell phone batteries, industrial use, copper, the same thing. People wear copper bracelets for health benefits and other things as well. So, okay. The best wallet, I can't think of the name of it, but I will do another live stream and let you all know. I do know Tangent just got hacked, and we know Lano, the Lano X has been hacked in the past as well. I don't know if Trezor has ever been hacked. Do your research on Trezor. Um, you are correct. We don't have the gold reserve, and we owe China. We owe China lots of money. That's why we're $32 trillion in debt. We have to pay them because China bought our debt. It's time to pay. It's time to pay the piper. Yep. And you all, people talk about terrorists and they support Trump taking away taxes from us and taxing terrorists on other countries that export their goods and services. But I'm just telling you all, if China terrorist attacks everything, or China's terrorists in other countries, everything that we get, including the groceries from other countries, is going to cost 3 times as much. And if you don't know how much America depends on China, then you go look at your Walmart and your Costco and your Sam's and see how much stuff in there says made in China, from clothing to everything else. Because America is not producing much. But even like Honda, Nissan, Mitsubishi, all three of those car manufacturers are collaborating together to produce their vehicles right now. All the Hondas we drive, the BMWs, the Lexus, and we're not making of that. Um, so America's not producing much of the things that we buy. We still get the Chevy, vehicles, and besides what else American vehicles do you see a lot besides Chevy? Ford maybe, but that's it. Everything else, we Americans ride in vehicles produced by other countries. So the vehicles gonna increase, our children's toys, our electronics, our Apple iPhones, your George, your J's, tariffs on these other countries. You're gonna see those prices increase 3, 5x times more. So you don't really have but a choice but to learn about investing and growing your cash. Because if that happens, right, and when we send the money to UK, who has to pay that bill? Americans. We see the prices through inflation when we send that money over there, and our children's have that we have to pay that. The United States send money over there to what's called now Israel. That falls on Americans' back through our labor, and that's why it's hard for people to get ahead financially, right? Um, Keep in mind the U.S. has most of the oil; it just hasn't been drilled yet. And I don't understand why we depend on Saudi Arabia oil. Like, why? Why are we drilling and consuming our own oil? Like, I don't understand it, but that's a great point. Um, has more oil in the ocean than Saudi Arabia. Virginia, oh, I lost it. South Carolina, I saw that. Tangent didn't get hacked, just bugs on the phrases they already fixed. Okay, cool. I knew it was something going on with Tangent, but whatever it was, it did not. It's not encouraging for me to get it. Avoid Ledger has a strain inside hackers on their devices. Thank you. I'm gonna miss my workout. I love you all, but I gotta go work out. United States is a corporation. True. Not a country. They created the system so rich can get richer, and people like us struggle to wake up, keep the government account. And that's why I was trying to explain to people about usury and the central banking system, and why Bitcoin's purpose was to be peer to peer to power the people. But institutions got involved in it and institutionalized Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin is an asset to where it's too big for the everyday working people. But that's why I was explaining the purpose of Bitcoin was never for the bankers. And so when people bash Bitcoin, they don't even know its power and its purpose. To where we wouldn't need a third party, where we didn't have to go to the bank to get a loan or to send wire money to another country. We had the power. Because right now, for example, if you have a certain amount of gold on you and you try to travel to another country with it by flight or whatever, they're not going to, you have to have gold in form of jewelry, necklaces. You have to, that's why like Mr. T, he used to have all the gold. You can transport gold that way, but to have it in grams and bars, they'll make it illegal. And see, that's what Bitcoin was for. Like the freedom to give that money without it being an illegal transaction, to be free from the bankers, where you didn't have to wire money, overseas to your loved ones, and to power the people. But institutions got involved. Larry Fink and BlackRock made it so institutionalized and so highly valued as digital gold that it took that power away, per se, for the people. XRP and Ripple are to support the banks. So my strategy is, the more that I gain from altcoins, to put more of that into Bitcoin, which is decentralized, right? That's not for the bankers, but for the freedom of the people, right? Um, no, altcoins won't go to XRP. Yes, XRP is a liquidity hub for the liquidity pool. You all check out my video, my live stream on the truth about XRP 2025. Tariffs have been proven to work, and there will be no income tax and no sales tax, so people will have a lot more money. When have tariffs been proven to work? When have tariffs been proven to work? Okay, the ledgers that were hacked weren't brought through an approved company. They were purchased by Amazon, so do not purchase any of cold wallets through Amazon, through a third party. Don't do that. XRP will be worth $1 million each. Wait and see. I know Bitcoin will, but I don't know about that, because we're talking about technology. But because, like I tell people, like, even the market cap for XRP can go to billions or trillions, but that does not mean it's going to increase its US dollar valuation, or what. Like, for example, XRP has trumped or bypassed Binance, but Binance coin per token is still worth dollar value more than XRP, even with a lower market cap. So just because we know billions and trillions are coming, but again, nobody, I mean, the greatest of the greatest, Quincy Jones, have gone on record, said nobody can predict how high the price of both XRP and SDC can go. Well, thank you. I'm corrected by BTC. Thank you. I have been to Bitcoin conferences since 2019. My very first one was Bitcoin Miami. So when people that have not even invested the time to go to a Bitcoin conference to hear the conversations that's had behind the scenes, the private conversations that people don't share publicly, they want to get on here and tell me Bitcoin is going to zero. That's not true either. In fact, I know the Simpsons code in that episode to prove that Bitcoin won't go to zero. Right. He decided to put Bitcoin in the hands of Lisa Simpson, which was representation of Bitcoin going back into the hands of the people. He even said, I was a billionaire, but he gave that ledger to Lisa Simpson to prove that whoever Satoshi was, his purpose was to give the power to the people. And I tell people that bash Bitcoin that, with hindsight being 2020, if they know that Bitcoin would go $107,000, would they buy Bitcoin if they could when it hit 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000? And if they tell me no, they're not being honest. They would, because they know in the future that at least it'll go to 107,000. I think Bitcoin would go to at least 125,000 this year. Right, I do. Um, yeah, Bitcoin is just like digital gold, and that's hard to explain to people that don't understand physical gold. I've been talking to you all. It is night, but I love you. I can talk about this all day. 160 people live, and thank you for getting those thumbs up. Caleb and Brown, Crypto Brooker, back your cryptos, remove fear of hacks. Lisa says yes. Okay, you also, let me finish drinking my energy drink. I may do a live stream tomorrow about Bitcoin versus XRP, just so people know the difference. But both are going to solve world problems, just in a different way. Oh, did you? Crypto Pharaoh said he bought his beat. Oh, you got in earlier than I did, because when I started studying Bitcoin, it was like $3,000 in 2019. And I knew from history that whenever a Bitcoin halving happens, that you don't see it at that all-time low again. How much XRP is enough? I don't give financial advice, but if me and you were just talking, which we are, I'm not giving you financial advice. As much as you can afford. I don't care if you got to start eating egg and cheese sandwiches and cut back at the restaurants. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care if you got to get a second job, and that second job is just for crypto. Sell your third vehicle. You got a third vehicle, sell it. Got stuff in your house, have a garage sale. Find some way to get extra money to invest. Not only XRP, XLM, you know, ADA, you know, I'm looking at the ones that give you the highest upside potential. Listen, Crypto Pharaoh, I love it. I bought my XRP for, is that 0.0006 in 2016 when Bitstamp was, see, I didn't even know about it then. You ahead of me. How you get that inside information? So Crypto Pharaoh, before I log off, we got 165 people live. I'm just curious. Since you got a Bitcoin at $800, XRP at 2 decimals of a 0.6, what are you investing in now? I think the whole audience want to know, and I'm gonna end my live stream if you answer that. King Jesus, I saw Bitcoin. You saw Bitcoin at $600 years ago. Wow. Sean Harris, hello to you. Quincy Jones is an SDC programmer. True. Somebody says 10K XRP minimum. And everybody, we're going to wait to see is Crypto Pharaoh going to let us know what he's in, or she, what they're investing in. I'm finna sip on this real quick. What now says DAG, SGC, XLM. DAG, I love ETN. I have not did a live stream on that. I think they said Trump invested in ETN as well. Very silent sleeper. I love it. Hbar Ondo AXL. Okay. Can XRP get to 1,000 this year? I don't think so. No. Think we might see a $10 XRP. 1,000 this year? No. Crypto Pharaoh, you don't want to answer? Well, what now gave us some good one. He might be gone. XRP $20, $35 this year. We'll see. Dad working with us, military. Yeah, somebody mentioned it. Degen, don't forget. Okay, here go Crypto Pharaoh, you all. Don't forget about Degen as well. Degen token. Crypto Pharaoh says I have XDC, XLM, Hbar, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and a few others. I also buy stocks. Love it. With that being said, you all have a great rest of your evening. Health is more than wealth to me. Health is life. So let me go get my workout on. I love you. Thank you all for subscribing. Oh, I forgot to tell you all this about Sui. Sui and XRP are now interoperable. This is why Sui is pumping today. I think it's at $5. They made that agreement. Sui XRP, aka Ripple Labs, is interoperable now. So big news with that as well. And I love you too, sis. Have a great workout. Thank you all. And thank you for subscribing. Blessings to you too, D Hard. You've been with me a long time. Blessings to you as well. Peace. Queen out.